Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I changed it up a little. You hear that one?
You did.
Wah, wah, wah. I don't think I did that before. You're welcome.
You really did mix it up. It was great.
I did. You said I don't know if you should have, but you did. You did.
You should start doing like a DJ set. We should have like a remix album of the Mystery Files intro.
Oh my gosh, wait, it's like the High School Musical. Is it High School Musical 2? They did a remix CD.
They did?
I got the remix CD. Yeah.
You did?
And it's like silver. Do you
No?
know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't know what you're talking
Don't look at
about.
my screen for a second in case the case pops up.
There's definitely no case in there that I don't know
Don't
about.
look, don't look, don't look. Okay. Tell them what the show's about for a sec. High School Musical.
Hello. Welcome to the Mystery Files podcast. I'm Logan.
I'm Tiffany.
And you are watching the Mystery Files
Mystery
podcast.
Files
What else would you be watching?
Not High School Musical 2 remix.
Unless you want to. And you can follow us on the Instagram at the Mystery Files _. Buy some of our merch.
I found it. Thank you for filling time. Look at this.
Oh my god, like what's on? Is there like any featured
They have
artists
like
or is it just
they have like techie versions of some of the songs. Like
a hyper pop, like this is the last time to get
yeah.
back.
This is the last time to get.
Oh wait, that's High School Musical 3, isn't it?
It is. LOL. Well, they have some
We can
techies.
work this out.
Wow, bet on it, bet on it, bet on it, psh, bet on it, me.
That's crazy. I've never heard that
Hold
before in
up.
my life.
Yeah, I know. It's good.
I used to listen to the High School Musical 2 soundtrack all the
It's
time.
so good. For what? It is so good.
I think it's the reason why I'm like a tenor, because I would sing Fabulous all the time. Like I was like, no, you have to hit that note, Logan.
You
And
have
like,
to. You're like forcing yourself.
Like literally though, I was like, that's really high. I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm gonna go.
Did you ever play the DS game?
No, I didn't have games
It was
growing
so.
up. I never got that.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, it was really disappointing. So sucks to suck, but it wasn't a good game. So you didn't miss out. It was really all you do is walk around the golf course. It
Isn't
was
like
so
evil
boring.
looking? Isn't that like kind of scary? Like the sprites of like the characters. I think I've seen like
Oh
one
yeah,
thing.
I mean all those games look a little cursed now, like looking back. But like the game was just so boring. They're like walk around a golf course. Like at least the other ones you can like dance. Like you press the little
There's
buttons for them to
multiple.
like.
Oh, it's like a rhythm game.
Yeah, well I mean like the other movies. Like they had a game for High School Musical 1. And I feel like that one, or the third one, you could like dance and you had to press all the buttons at the right time. Sort of like Guitar Hero, but like not playing an instrument. Dancing.
Did you vote for Hannah Montana, Miley Cyrus, to be the person that's at the end of High School Musical 2?
I don't even think I had a chance to vote. I wasn't on the internet back then. I didn't know.
Wow. I was on that computer. I was on my mom's desktop computer whenever she would go to bed, just going.
See, you had access to the internet. I had access to a DS PictoCat. We live very different lives. I don't think
I was watching Fred, and you were.
Oh no, I was watching Fred in the nail salon because they had Wi-Fi.
Wait, why in the nail salon?
Because my mom would go to the nail salon to get her nails done. She'd bring
Do they
all of
have a
us kids.
computer?
No, but they had Wi-Fi.
But were you doing it on your phone? Were you just watching Fred?
You can pull it up on DS.
On a
In a DSi, they had the internet. Come on now. I wasn't watching Fred on a DS.
Fred on a DS sounds so funny.
He was like,
isn't
I'm
that
cool.
speaker terrible?
Yeah.
Hey, it's Fred.
Did you see someone brought, I think it was a DS to Chapel Roan?
Yes, I did. That's so funny.
And she's like, is that a DS? So fun.
That's so funny.
But yeah, welcome to the show. Sorry that was, you had to experience it with us, besties.
You expect a cold opening, and we've given it to you.
Yeah, and I'm not going to lie, I don't know anything that Logan said when I was looking up the High School Musical 2 thing. So
just
welcome to the show.
Promoted the show.
Thank you for promoting the show. We're glad that you're here. Hope you like High School Musical as much as we do.
Because that's the case this week.
That's literally the case. It's a mystery why it's still popular, but here we are. And it still is. It's still kicking.
Last week even, we did my case, which was Max Headroom and Mac Dougal, aka TV Interruptions.
Ooh.
That was such a fun one.
That was so fun. When I was trying to tell someone about it, I don't know why I kept mixing Max Headroom and McDougal's name. I was like, Max McDougal. I mean Headroom. I don't know what I'm saying. I said the hijacker one.
had a farm.
I don't know. I don't know. I was stressing, but I was telling some people about it. So, good case. Really fun. I still want to watch the show, as I always... What?
Can I tell them?
You can tell them. Okay, first off, before Logan starts to speak and spew the shade.
I'm not going to be shady. I'm just going to say.
Just say, okay, just say it.
So, on the TikTok, we posted a clip from the Max Headroom case, and it was us doing the joke about how he was stuck in a box, right? And somebody left us what I assumed either to be, we talked about it, either a mean comment
or chill, but like
informative, I guess.
yeah.
Basically being like, Max Headroom was a genius. He was like,
Yeah.
he was on all these brands and like all these things. And I just responded under the Mystery Files account. I said, oh, okay.
Oh, okay. But the thing is, keep in mind, I read this comment and I was like, oh man, that's kind of nice. And then Logan responded, oh, okay. And I'm like, I know for a fact Logan was thinking this person said that in some shady tone. And so Logan was like, I'm going to be a little snippy back.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're going to stir some pots out there, my friend.
Well, it's just like funny because like
Yeah.
if you're a new viewer and you're watching us right now and you still haven't clicked off, keep watching because here's the thing. Sometimes the shorts we post aren't the whole context of the episode. Like the bit we posted is just a little portion. And if you're a longtime viewer, you know that we actually talked about the
case.
Significance of Max Headroom and those things.
Yeah, like sure we're goofing off. I know it's hard for you to believe considering you've watched about like 8 or 7 minutes of this of us talking about High School Musical. Yeah. But we do actually talk about the case.
I know. I was like, we do.
We promise. So yeah.
Like what was it? I think it was the Well to Hell episode.
Yeah.
People in the comments were like, "Oh, this is so fake. Like why are you trying to spread lies and misinformation?" And I was like,
it was the end, bestie. Wait till the end. You ever hear a twist in a movie? They're not telling you the beginning.
Yeah. Like, just watch the episode.
That's so funny.
But yeah, it's so crazy.
Trust we're going through the case. I mean, sometimes we miss some stuff, and that's why we want you guys to be like, hey, you forgot that one thing. We'll be like, oopsie doopsie. That's our bad, because we are just humans out here being silly goofy, talking about mysteries.
And if you're nice to me, I probably won't respond with, oh, okay.
I mean, he might just for fun, but like...
Just for fun.
That one's lovingly, trust us. So if you see it again, even if you were being shady, we promise it's with love.
Oh my god.
But yeah, I'm excited for this week's case.
Yeah, you said it was spooky, right?
Yeah, it's spooky, and I've been telling Logan I've been switching this case like a billion times. So the case that I referred to on the last episode that I was like, ooh, it's spooky. It's not that case. That'll be something else because it was too short. But this is also spooky because I had to keep the vibes going. So I'm really excited.
Okay. So do you want to have me give you a little drum roll?
Sure, give me a drum roll, but don't look at my screen just yet. Why not? Okay, yes, you can look. It's fine. If you really need to.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Right. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. This week on the Mystery Files podcast, I'll be presenting the case of Route 666, the Devil's Highway.
What? I feel like... I think I've heard of it. Maybe I haven't. I'm excited.
You probably have. Initially, I was going to do like a Haunted Highways episode, which I still might do in the future, so act surprised whenever I do that. But this specifically... wow, I wonder why she did it. This specifically, I had been recommended to do this case by my friend Lexi, Queen.
Thank you, Lexi.
Thank you, Lexi. A long time ago, she recommended that we do a case about this because I guess she had family that was like talking about it, and she's like, that sounds so scary. And I kind of forgot about it. And then, sorry, Lexi. I forgot about it for a second. And then I was watching Supernatural, and there was an episode that was about this Route 666. So
a lot of inspiration.
Supernatural will just keep me entertained.
Thank you, Dean.
Thank you, Dean. Thank you, Sam. Really respectful. But yeah.
Hope one of you doesn't die one day.
Don't say that. Don't spoil nothing for me. I don't know squat. So if someone spoils, I'm gonna be really upset. I will genuinely be really upset. Well, at least you didn't say which one. I'd have been mad.
Who says it was one of them who dies?
Oh, I don't care if anyone else dies. Respectfully. But if they die...
If you know, you know.
I bet the dad will die, though. Probably. So, I'm going to first reference my sources, because every time I go back in these episodes, I realize I don't, and Logan always does. So...
I'm a nice person.
Because you're a wonderful person who cares about other people who have written things. So, we've got a website called paranorms.com, vocalmediahorror.com, az.gov, and hauntedplacesToGo.com.
Great.
So, thank you all. And there's also going to be a Reddit person that I will also then
love
reference.
A Reddit story.
We love a Reddit story here.
Yay. Okay.
So, to our intro. Whew. In every city and small town across the world, there are roads, and anywhere you find roads, you'll discover strange stories, oddities, and unusual tales, often involving the supernatural of some form of evil. Come with the territory. Whether it's a disappearing hitchhiker, a rundown old gas station, a ghost town, drivers who forever disappear, or the devil at a crossroads. The stories are everywhere if you know where to look, what path to walk, or what route to drive. And Route 666, known as the Devil's Highway, is a scenic 200-mile road known by motorists for its demon dogs, ghostly figures, and Native American skinwalkers.
Skinwalkers!
We'll be talking about them. Skinwalkers.
Skinwalkers.
We literally have not talked about them, so I'm so excited.
No, we talk about doing them.
Yeah.
We never do them.
Yeah, so here we go. So motorists have claimed that something paranormal has been at work here for years. So we'll look at how Route 666 was named and the myths that surround the road named after the number of the beast. So as we know, 666 is kind of like the devil's number or associated
Jesus
with...
number,
yeah, so it says number of the beast is like the vibe. So,
Have you ever seen... This is so old. Sorry.
No,
You've seen the monster girl?
like Gabby Hanna?
No,
I was like, what do you mean?
the Monster Energy Drink girl?
No, what do you mean? What does she do?
There's like the monster, like the energy drink.
Yeah.
It's this girl who has like this whole theory that it's like a Satanist like organization underground because it's like
wait.
3 claws.
Yes, yeah.
The scratch of the devil's beast.
It's called a monster. What do you think it's gonna mean? Like, if you see scratches, yeah, monster probably did it, girl. Like,
Well, she said the each scratch was like a 6 upside down, so it's 666, and the devil laughs.
oh my gosh.
Oh, it's drink up
666.
and the devil laughs, I think.
Oh, no.
That was like a
She
COVID
sounds wacky. So moving on from Mr. Monster, we're now going to talk about what Route 666 is. Also, this is so weird. Every time I say 666, I feel like I'm adding an extra number, and I think it's just in my brain. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah, it feels like one too many.
3 6s, right? Whenever I'm saying 6. Yeah. So,
Well, it's because of Route 66.
yeah,
also,
well,
so you feel
that's
weird.
part of it.
Ah.
That's part of it, because there's a lot of different name
Is it
changes.
on Route 66?
It's part of it. It's like but there's a whole confusing timeline of all of these things. So we'll get into it, but it's still confusing, and I've read about it. So just listen carefully, I guess, so you understand. So what is Route 666? So around the time of the Mexican-American War of 1848, Route 666 served as a trading route, known as the Old Spanish Trail. Route 666 was the main route serving the Mexican nation, now known as U.S. Route 491. So now it's 491. It's no longer 666, but we're going to refer to it for most of
Was
this.
it ever called that? Was it ever called that?
Yeah.
That's crazy, right?
I know. It is crazy.
Why would they do that?
Why did they stop for a reason?
I guess, like, that's so crazy.
I know. They said too much Satan up in here. Let's switch it up.
Like, I think it's corny that, like, we get rid of the 13th floor
Yeah.
a lot, but actually naming it that's crazy.
I know. Well,
that's
the thing
crazy.
is, there's all that lore about, like, the 13th floor. When I literally lived on the 13th floor freshman year in college, I'm like, and I feel like I remember telling people I was going to be on the 13th floor, and people thought I was lying. Like,
yeah,
in my real life,
not...
they were like, no, you're not. They don't have 13th floors. I'm like, I literally
Some
am,
places
though.
do.
And I experienced it.
That's crazy.
I know, so... But this also existed, which is wacky.
Oh my god.
So Route 666 is a north-south carriageway. The route serves the Four Corners region of the United States. So it resides at the four corners of the states of Utah, Colorado, Arizona, and New Mexico. So not the entire states, only certain geographical locations of each state. So
Got
like
it. So it's
little
making like an
chunks.
X kind of, right? Is that geography
Yeah,
correct?
a square.
Kind of.
A square-ish
Yeah.
vibe-ish.
Oh, well.
I'm not good at squares. Renamed for obvious reasons, Route 666 became Route 491 in 2003. So, like, kind of recent-ish, still a long time ago, but
Yeah.
recent in terms of time. This is one of the most recent designations in the U.S. highway network by the American Association of State Highway Officials. So the history of U.S. Route 666 begins in 1925. In New Mexico, new routes and designations were being added, included branches of US 60. The sixth new route added was US Route 560. Unfortunately, being the sixth spur on the existing Route 66 is what led to the infamous moniker. So in a later meeting the same year, Route 560 changed to 660 due to a technicality. Several complaints filed the following year in 1926 took issue with the numbering, so Kentucky argued against the use of the designations ending in 60. The name of the route changed again, and this meant that the former branches of US 60 were now US 66.
Oh.
Yeah. So I, even reading that, my brain, I'm just like, okay, it changed.
It's like a,
There's, like,
it was like a
branches
dash, right? It's a dash, like 60-6, or is it just like...
I mean, basically, you can think about it like that because
Like,
it's
okay,
like
like
it's a
60.
branch off of.
Yeah, like 66-6.
Yeah.
Something like that. Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
like it's like off the road, but it's like, okay, yeah, because you have to have like it up to a certain number. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's crazy.
So yeah, so they added that 6. So at last, U.S. Route 660 became Route 666. So in a sense, Route 666 was born out of a huge bureaucratic hex. Given the 666 designation, the nickname Devil's Highway is only fitting. So we're going to talk about the beginning of U.S. Route 66 to kind of lead into some of the lore about it.
Ooh, okay.
So November 11th, 1926 is when U.S. Route 66 was officially born. As of writing this was written in 2022. We are quickly approaching the 100th anniversary of the creation. So it's still like, if that was 1926, we're still like so close to the 100th year. We're like 98 right now.
That's crazy.
And it's one of the most famous roads in the United States of America. And I'm betting most people in the U.S. and many people worldwide are familiar with the Highway 66. So, like, I've seen that
I've seen
everywhere.
cars.
I've seen cars.
I've
Come on,
seen
life is a
cars.
highway. Are you kidding me?
And I'm going to ride it.
I'm going to ride
all night long.
All night long. Come on now. So everyone's kind of familiar with that. And this place specifically is, like, chock full of, like, weird stuff. Many families simply hopped onto Route 66 and just started driving, hoping where they ended up would be better than what they had left behind. Mm-hmm. As the road became increasingly popular, new small communities popped up along the way, and people settled into the areas. Route 66 was even a road favored by the military for moving supplies during World War II. Yeah. Route 66 became an American icon and ran through so many states with such a wide array of interesting and unique spots that it still remains popular today. Plenty of roadside attractions came and went over the years, some of which can still be seen in the dusty remains left alongside the road. With so many travelers on the road, inevitably, there were car crashes and deaths, enough for Route 66 to become known as Bloody 66.
Oh my god,
there were so
really?
many, like, tragic accidents and deaths that they called it Route 66, Bloody 66.
That's so crazy, because I've always thought of, like, Route 66 as, like, known as, like, the American Dream Highway.
You think, like, it's this... I mean, for some people it was, obviously.
Yeah, but
like,
I've just never heard, like, the darker...
Bloody 66. Like, you think it's like, ooh, fun.
Like, it might not be the safest road to, like, drive down or something like that. That's crazy. I didn't know that, like, it had, like, that extended, like
accidents
darkness
and things.
To it. Yeah.
But the thing is, it wasn't only car crashes. So all along the route, people fell to every kind of thing imaginable. So, like, all of these like crazy things would happen, like in the cars, in motels, like roadsides, gas stations, and shops. So, like, it wasn't just like the car crashes. It was like all these things happening everywhere around.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So we're going to get into some of, like, the myths of Route 666 and, like, some of the lore of why it is as chaotic as I'm saying.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Bloody 66.
Bloody 66. So motorists claim something paranormal is at work on the route. Over the years, the road has seen its fair share of fatal and non-fatal tragic accidents. So in the past, people have placed blame on the road based on the association with 666. Mm-hmm. So Christians believe that the number is reflected in the 3 sixes represent what they refer to as, we said, the number of the beast. When this highway was under its assumed evil number identifier, many referred to it as the Devil's Highway, and based on statistics, there were an unusually high number of accidents and fatalities on this road when it was named 666.
Oh,
I know.
So after they, like, named, like
whenever they changed the number, it, like, statistics, like, completely dropped of the amount of fatalities and, like, weird accidents that happened, which I do think is, like, kind of odd.
Wait, it went down after they named it.
No, after they renamed it.
After they renamed it went down.
Yeah, so when it was 666, all this bad stuff was happening, and then they changed the number away from 666, and that's when the statistics went down for fatalities on this stretch.
That like, I guess, like, makes sense in, like, a supernatural, like, occurrence
because the hex of the number is, like, out the window.
Because it's also, like, it's that, like, old myth of, like, never give a name to a ghost. You
ever
heard of that
or
before?
Like, you shouldn't name a demon.
Shouldn't name...
Yeah.
Mm-hmm, you should never name, like, a demon or something like that because it personifies them into something
It gives them
real.
power, like...
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I also wonder if on, like, a real, like, I wonder if on like another way too is like maybe like people who were like junkies for like
adrenaline.
Adrenaline junkies were going when it was called like 666.
Yeah, I'm
like,
sure.
Ooh, like let's go. Like imagine like you're drunk with your friend or something like that, and you're thinking, oh, like let's do this thing. Like I could just see a lot of people deciding to put themselves in a lot of danger.
Yeah.
So like making it boring, like Route 66. They're like, oh, okay, whatever.
They're like, oh man, it's fine.
That's crazy.
But no,
though.
people want the chaos sometimes. So many believe that the belief that anyone that traveled on this road would immediately be cursed. So like alone, you're like, oh man, there's all these there's all these like crashes and things happening. Some people think like you go on this road, you are cursed. Like
you're done.
You're done. This thing is following you. You are going to have a string of bad luck. Like good luck, Charlie. So they think that there is a curse that would be put on you.
It's the road from Agatha.
I don't know. I haven't seen it. I still haven't seen it. It's the road.
It's the road.
Is that in the show?
Yeah, there's like a road they have to go down and it's evil.
Maybe it's. You should look it up after, see if it's inspired.
Is Route 66
in Agatha along? You're like, no.
Lightning McQueen shows up.
Ka-chow.
He's like, hello, Agatha.
Agatha.
I'm a witch too. Or, hello, ka-chow.
Ka-chow. He's a little lightning bolt. He's
so
just
funny.
a baby. So, when these claims are made, more obvious factors such as human error, the climate, speeding, or DUI are often ignored. So, some people are like the realists, and some people are like, no, it's definitely ghosts. So, let's get into some more of the lore. So, one of the biggest ones that I've seen, and we're going to get into the fun stuff in a second.
Yeah.
So, one of the most, the biggest ones I've seen is the sacred Native American sites.
Okay.
So, the 200-mile-long so-called Devil's Highway is now U.S. Route 491, and it meanders through some of America's most impressive scenery, passing through Colorado, New Mexico, and Utah, and the landscape is breathtaking. Chief among these sites are a pair of Native American sacred sites, Shiprock, so translated as Rock with Wings, in New Mexico, and hopefully I'm saying this right, Ute or Ute Mountain in Colorado. According to Native American legend, Shiprock was a majestic bird. Shiprock assisted with the transportation of the Navajo people to their home. After completing the journey, it settled down and became the spectacular feature that we see today. The Navajo have forbidden access to the peak for fear of disturbing the ghost of their ancestors.
Oh.
Yeah, so there's also a legend about a group of people that have the ability to transition into various types of animals, such as wolves, coyotes, crows, the list goes on. So these people are typically referred to as skinwalkers. So this act is often referred to those that study anthropology as shape-shifting. It is believed that medicine men were skinwalkers. Many claim that the spirits of these skinwalkers exist today on Highway 666. It is believed that they are able to immediately transform into an assortment of animals along the highway and will appear suddenly in front of oncoming traffic. That if something appeared to me like that in front of my car, or
That's
like
crazy.
I'd be so freaked out.
Ooh.
Yeah, so they'll just like suddenly appear. And as a result, the vehicle would instantaneously become involved in a potentially fatal accident because they're trying to avoid hitting whatever they are seeing.
That's crazy.
Yeah, how are you feeling about that so far?
I thought it was interesting that, because we haven't done skinwalkers, but
Yeah.
I think it's interesting with you brought up like the Navajo people, because
Yeah.
also the Navajo people were the ones when we did the Wendigos episode too.
Yeah,
They were like part of that
The lore,
as well,
like
of
the
that lore.
it was part of their.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was like the whole idea that they could like turn into like different animals and things. I guess I knew that, but I feel like skinwalkers maybe have like been, like maybe it'll be in this, but like skinwalkers are taken like so far nowadays where it's like they're just humans all the time and stuff. But like most times I think it's like animals.
Yeah, I don't know why I didn't realize, like, in their lore, it says, like, it was believed to be medicine men that would transition or, like, shapeshift into these skinwalkers. I don't think I realized that any human was behind it. I think I always assumed it was, like, something demonic that was, like, shapeshifting.
You know, actually,
So
I think I was the same way. I think I thought it was just like a demon that was able to like play tricks.
Yeah, and maybe
things.
in some different, like, lore it is.
Yeah,
but
like,
it's interesting.
Specifically for like Navajo,
Yeah.
like in this area. That's crazy. I never thought about it like that.
I also wonder if it was like medicine men, why would they try to like scare people to kill them? Because weren't medicine men used to like help people, or am I wrong?
I am not entirely sure. Actually,
Let's look that up for
Let's do a
my
little Google.
my little brain over here. Because I could have swore they were used to, yeah, they're like healers.
Well, maybe it's like not about like that they were trying to be like
Yeah.
hateful. It might be something like they couldn't control or something like that.
Yeah, or like keeping people off their land. That could be part of it.
I mean, that's part of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like keeping them away from like
so they
their
don't,
area.
Yeah, so they don't like disturb the ancestors. Because they did mention
Yeah.
the whole point about like not going up to that peak.
Yeah, that's probably what it is.
So
it's like
I
an
wonder
omen
if
to
it's
try to keep them away.
an omen. Yeah, I feel like that would be the answer to it. Because I was kind of unsure at first. Because I was like,
Yeah.
why would the medicine men? But that makes a lot more sense.
That's like it's very similar to like whenever like you're going somewhere you know feels like bad or like maybe you shouldn't be somewhere, you don't belong, you just have that like vibe come over your body of like I need to leave this area.
Yeah. It's your gut instinct.
That's so interesting. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
It's also a little different from like Wendigos because that's like a whole different like thing.
Yeah.
I guess in like the terms of like the eating people and everything. That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't think they're eating no people, those little guys. They're just scaring them all. But many stories that circulate that pertain to the skinwalkers that are said to be along US Route 491 occur to travelers in an effort to warn. Okay, so there we go.
Okay.
Yeah.
There we go.
In an effort to warn them not to continue down the road that they cherish. Yeah, that was literally right. Okay, so yeah. Warn them not to continue down the road that they cherish as theirs.
Yeah,
So,
there you go.
There we go.
There you go.
So many sightings may appear. If the traveler fails to heed to these warnings, it is believed that an evil spiritual shaman will appear in the seat of the vehicle, especially the back seat. If something was in my back seat,
if something just appeared in my back seat, it'd be over. I'd be rolling out of the car.
I'd be
They can
sick.
take over the wheel.
I'd be sick to my stomach. I cannot. But yeah,
I don't care who takes the wheel. Jesus, the devil, the shaman, whoever.
I wouldn't say the devil.
I'm getting out of the car.
Oh, I
Whoever
thought you were saying you would.
No.
You're like, devil, take me. I'm like,
No,
don't
if someone's
that.
behind me in the car, I'm dipping.
No, I'm dipping. I'll
If you're
roll out.
if you're in my passenger seat, good luck.
Good luck,
You better be
Charlie.
jumping up with me.
No. But so yeah, if you hear one of those warnings or feel those warnings, maybe just trust it because you don't want someone to appear in your
Yeah.
back seat of your car.
That's so crazy.
So the purpose of them appearing as this evil spirit is to obtain the soul of the driver. This is getting crazy. So they obtain the soul of the driver. It is believed that the shaman's magic will result in an accident or other type of situation that takes the life of the driver so that they may immediately gain the person's soul as they transition from the physical world into the spiritual world.
Oh
So
my
heed
God.
that warning. Heed that warning unless you want someone to appear in your back seat and then take your soul.
If you see a bunny rabbit that's telling you to leave, that's giving you the evil eyes, turn around.
I feel like this is
Find
terrible.
another route.
This is terrible advice for people who just have like regular anxiety because my anxiety would be like, we have to turn away, it's dark and scary. And the other person would be like, no, we're fine. I'm like, do you want someone to appear in the back seat and literally take your soul?
No, for real.
In the middle of the night? Come on now.
No, because then that's too logical. It's
Yeah.
like, no, stop having scientific logic.
But like
Be
this is
scared of the little
scientific.
bunny.
This is scientific to me.
It's true.
It's real to me.
It's true.
Yeah.
They're warning us.
They're literally telling. I'm
They're
gonna say that
telling
next
you.
time we're in the woods. Uncle, they're telling us to turn back, Logan. Come
I'll cry.
on, come on. So now we're gonna tell a little Skinwalker Reddit story.
Ooh.
So, because I love a little Reddit story. So this author on Reddit is named Gindo Boy. So this is their story. Thank you for sharing, my guy. Growing up, I lived in northeastern Arizona, literally about 5 miles south of the Navajo Reservation in Winslow. Naturally, being that close to the reservation, or the res as they call it, skinwalkers were a huge topic of conversation among the locals, and we all took it very seriously. Stories of personal experiences abounded. I was no different. Well, to start off my set of stories, I was about 9 or so. My family had gone camping in a little spot about 50 miles south or so of a town called Hart Canyon, near Wiggins Crossing. We had been there all day, and I was extremely familiar with the area as we had camped there 20 or so times before. So my parents let me just wander about alone in the woods, and that was back in the early 90s. So different
How old
time.
was he? Did it say?
He was about 9 or so.
That's crazy.
I
mean, I guess
know.
maybe I was wandering around
I was,
the woods. When
yeah,
I
at
was
9, I was probably
Yeah.
doing the same thing. But like,
I was messing around.
but I feel like maybe woods by my house.
Yeah.
Not like a place I'd go camping or something. That's kind of
Yeah, a place you go camping. That's kind of crazy.
That's like you
actually.
stay within like a couple.
You stay close, not like
Close
going on
enough
a
to
whole
still
hike
see.
by yourself.
Yeah, that's kind of wild. But in the 90s, different time, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that was back in the early 90s. Anyway, I had some GI Joes that I had been playing with in the nearby creek. So that guy was dipping
In the creek?
In the creek, those G.I. Joes.
He's playing mermaids with G.I. Joes. That's
Aw,
crazy.
mermaids and G.I. Joes. Aw.
I want to be where the people are.
I wanna be a real man. With my little tail. They're glimmering. I love them. So he's playing with those things in the creek. About 80 yards from our campsite, there were not other campers there with us. My mom had called me back to camp for dinner, so I left and ate, played around camp for a while, and realized that I'd forgotten my toys back at the creek. So I took a flashlight. It was already dark. You're kidding me. So I took a flashlight and headed back that way. I knew right where I had left them, so in no time I found them and grabbed them up. As I squatted down to grab them on the edge of the water, a sudden urgency that I never felt before ran down my spine. Trust your instinct. Trust it.
Away. Run away.
Come on now. So I remember feeling frozen because of the fear, like the little boy on E.T. when the alien comes out of the field for the first time and he's trying to scream for his family. So I looked up and pointed my flashlight to the other side of the creek, and about 10 yards down the way, I saw something. At first, I thought it was a deer, but it was standing up, so I thought maybe it might be a bear, but it was too skinny and didn't have enough poofy hair. So it went behind the tree and peered out slightly at me. I seriously was too scared to move. I just read a bit about Bigfoot for the first time since it wasn't really popular in my area. I thought for a long time that that's what I had seen. I finally had enough to gather my wits and scram as fast as I could back to camp.
Oh my god.
I know. It said I told my parents and they kind of dismissed it as my imagination, so I just stayed close the rest of the trip. So that's this person's first story. So they saw something long and strange out in the woods.
That's crazy.
If I saw that.
I think that's like part of like what skinwalkers are, right? Like it's the whole idea that like it's like an animal that has too much of like in the concept of like what being I think a human is.
Yeah, like humanoid features.
Yeah. Like, do you ever see like those creepy videos on TikTok of like skinwalkers?
Yeah, like things appearing in hallways and like looking all rickety and weird.
There's one I saw that was so freaky. It was like a little dog,
Ooh.
and it was like barking like this. It was going bark, bark. And it was like everyone was like, "That's a skinwalker down. That's a skinwalker."
Disgusting.
Yeah.
No.
I just can't imagine like they're a little dog and they're just like hanging out, like just waiting. And praying.
Stop. What if our pets just morphed into skinwalkers one day?
If Binks became a skinwalker, I'd feel so betrayed.
Stop. Imagine she's like really, really snuggly, and then you fall asleep and you wake up at 3 a.m. and she just starts growing.
She's got like Nosferatu back. She's like,
ew. I am disgusted.
I think like when I've seen them in media too, don't their like bones kind of crack?
Yeah,
too,
from my understanding, and that's when I'm like, that's not right.
That's a wrap.
Foul. That's disgusting.
Crazy.
So this is the first experience this person ever had.
Okay.
So
they're traumatized. There's a second one, isn't there?
There is a second one.
They are traumatized down.
So to continue, about 2 years later, I was at my house. I had 2 dogs. Come on, now, not the dogs. No, I swear, if they get killed or become skinwalkers, I'll be really mad.
If the dogs are skinwalkers, I'm like a genius. Guys, I didn't know. I've never read this
You're
before.
literally a mind reader. So, he was at the house with his dogs. They were outside dogs, lived their whole lives in my backyard. One night, they went psycho, barking at first at something in the alley behind my house. Okay. Then, they both started whimpering. I had my window open slightly, and one of my dogs straight up jumped to the window.
Oh, my God.
Frantically chewed through the screen. Not the dog chewing through the screen of the window.
They said, "Get me out of here."
They said, "I'm out. I'm going to get something." They forced its way into the house. Oh, because the dogs were outside coming in.
Yeah.
The dogs forced their way into the house and would not leave the house for 3 days. The dog was so scared that it, like, chewed its way through the screen into the house.
When animals want something, they want it. Mm-hmm. I'm glad they're okay.
But also an outside dog being that scared and being like, I'm getting in away from whatever's out there right now. So another time, so that was the second time. Another time was when I was about 13. We used to play night games in the town. Mostly, there being nothing much else to do, we would walk around our neighborhood and act suspicious so the cops would come chase us around. And
why would you do that?
That's crazy. That's crazy stuff.
Sounds like something I would have done.
I know.
It sounds a little bit like
chase us a little. That's
I'm
crazy.
kind of bored. Let's have the cops chase us.
Let's have someone chase us around. So either act suspicious or the cops would chase them, and we would run down the alleyways and hop into random people's backyards to hide. Now, it was extremely common to see an intoxicated Navajo or a Hopi in the alley or the street. So it was no big deal to see one in the alley behind my house that night, as we being two of my friends and myself, ran from a police car that was hot on our trail. We saw him plain as day standing in our way. We ran around him and jumped into the nearest yard to hide. We waited for the cop to pass us and hopped back out. Literally about 3 minutes went by. We ran back the way we came, and as we got to the point where the person had been, he was gone. Legit in his place was a coyote sitting there watching us. We ran right past it, feet from it, and anyone who knows coyotes knows they will bail out way before you get close to them. So this guy held his ground and calmly sat and watched us run past him, and we all freaked out and stayed inside for a month. So I'm assuming this person is basically saying they thought there was a person standing there, and when they returned, in place of the person was a coyote.
Yeah. So, like, it's like a skinwalker, like, changing its, like...
into a coyote.
Shapes. Ugh.
Yeah, I feel like this one is a little hard for me to get freaked out by, because I'm like, what if a coyote just, like, sat there? I mean, maybe it shapeshifted. Yeah. But maybe it was just timing.
I think what's scarier is the whole idea of the dogs being, like, scared and, like, running away.
The dog's ripping into the house. Yeah. That's what freaks me out.
That's like the other thing is, like, animals can kind of see, like, things, like, you can't. So, like, if they're telling you something, you should listen.
You should believe them. So, there's one last experience this person has on here. So,
are you in therapy, sir?
Yeah, if you're saying that much, I hope you're getting help. That's a little scary. So my last experience was when I was about 15 or 16. My brother has a girlfriend that lived in a small community south of Winslow called Starlight Pines. What a really cute name for a little town.
Gravity Falls.
Gravity Falls core. So about 25 miles-ish. Well, we went to go see her one day. And as we drove out, about 15 miles out, we saw a guy standing on the side of the road, which was quite odd because the res was north of town, and it was rare to see anyone on foot south of town because it's just desert and forest for literally 80 miles. So anyway, we see this guy. He looked normal enough. Flannel shirt. It's you! You're kidding. You're kidding. Jeans, but you're wearing shorts.
Oh.
Flannel shirt.
Where am I?
Whoa, you can't see nothing. Flannel shirt, jeans. We got to our destination and hung out with my brother's girlfriend and her family well into the night when we decided to head back home. Hopped in his truck, a Chevy S10, and drove back the way we came. In the same spot, we saw the dude. He was still there. I remember thinking that dude is crazy, standing out there all day and into the night. What's he doing? Right as we passed him, we hear a loud bang on the back of the truck. At first, I thought we hit an animal, but I hadn't felt anything that we'd run over. I turned around and looked out the back window. My brother started to slow down, thinking there may be something wrong with the truck. In the brake lights, I see the same guy chasing after us.
Oh my god.
We are easily going...
running?
Yeah. We are easily going 55 to 60 at this point as we are about to stop. The guy is in the road, feet behind us. I scream at my brother to not stop. Gun it, man. Gun it. He goes, and being a Chevy S10, it had a speed governor of like 80.2 miles, so 2 miles. This guy keeps up with us. We are seriously freaking out. I asked my brother, what if we don't make it back to town, or what about when we have to slow down once we get close? After those 2 miles that stretched forever, I looked back and the guy was gone.
Not him being like just a straight up flash.
I know. How was he zooming like that? How was he zooming? So we got home, booked it into the house, and told our parents. Next morning, I get up to head somewhere and look at my brother's truck, thinking about the night before. I wondered what the loud bang was, just before we started getting chased. Inspecting the truck, I found a handprint. That's nasty. You're kidding. I found a handprint smeared in the dust from about 2/3 to the right, smeared to the right taillight. I never went there again.
I would have written like hi and
hi.
Like,
I mean, that guy was chasing. Face. How was he gonna? He's gonna be like writing as the car's moving 50 to 60 miles per hour.
It's like cutting it up.
That's crazy. So they had 2/3 to the right, smeared all the way to the taillight. So that's crazy. That's this guy, all of his stories. Honestly, that last one would be enough for me to leave.
That's good. You should have just led with that. That was crazy.
I know. I kind of forgot that was the last one. That's the last one of this guy.
That was crazy.
Yeah. Wild. Wow. So that's just the stories about about the skinwalkers, and there's more.
Oh, I feel like that's part of like the warning sign thing. Like I know that like, I don't think they were a part of like the whole like warning of like going away from somewhere. But like I wonder if like some people had like literal animals like chasing them like super far or something like that, or just like catching up with them, or maybe like when they just randomly appear, maybe they're not waiting for them on the road, maybe they've been chasing them the whole time and you just never noticed.
Hate that. Ew, it's like morphed and like stuck in your car.
Yeah.
Like stuck to the side of your car or something.
Like lingering.
Ew,
like
stop
always
it.
there.
It shapeshifts as a bug to sit on your windshield until it decides to
That's what
change.
I would do.
As a
it
little
shapeshifts
mosquito.
into a car. It's Lightning McQueen.
That is foul.
Ka-chow.
Ka-chow. No, that like that's nasty.
That's crazy.
So next time you see a Lightning McQueen next to you, it's actually a
Think
skinwalker.
twice.
Think
or a fly.
twice.
Or a bug.
Or a
Who
fly.
knows?
The fly is Lightning McQueen, but as a skinwalker.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They're probably smarter these days.
Yeah. I can't believe Cars is about skinwalkers. That's crazy.
Crazy.
That's literally
you really
crazy.
think they're sentient cars? They're cars that have human-like tendencies, and it's jarring and weird, and that's a skinwalker.
Why is it all actually making sense though? Love is a highway, and I'm a skinwalker all night long.
Those
That's
are the
crazy.
real lyrics. That's crazy.
That's crazy. That's the lyric of that song. That's wild. But yeah, so that's all the skinwalkers we have in this story. Wow. But don't you fret, because there's so many other whack stuff that happens on this road.
Oh my god.
So, next, we're going to get into demon dogs.
Ruff, ruff.
Or hecky-wecky hounds, as some like to call them.
Hell dogs, hell dogs, hell dogs, hell dogs.
Actually, it's hounds.
Hellhounds.
Thank you. So, this is about being patrolled by demon dogs. So, skinwalkers are not the only concern. These demon dogs allegedly patrol remote regions of the road, often in packs. Witnesses have claimed that hounds have kept pace with the vehicles, so we got more of those scary creatures that you mentioned. You were talking about all these different animals that could just run with your car. Those demon dogs been keeping up with the pace of the cars and the vehicles that are traveling on the sides. So they will keep up. And legend has it that these supernatural beasts have the ability to shred tires with either their teeth or sharp claws.
Oh my
or
god.
even enter moving vehicles and maul the driver and or passengers.
Maul them?
Can you imagine you're driving along the road and some wacky looking dog just jumps into your car and starts attacking you?
That'd be crazy.
I'd be freaking out.
I feel like when you think of like a hellhound, you're thinking like a Doberman or something, like a
Yeah.
big like black dog or like a jackal dog. I don't know what they're called.
Yeah,
But
I'm thinking like Doberman Pinscher with those like
yeah,
spirit ears.
yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine if it's just like a golden retriever. It's just like running after you, and then he mauls you.
I'm like, man, you're looking kind of scary. Oh, look, you're kind of cute.
oh, hi, Airbud.
Oh, stop. We should make an edit that's Airbud as a as a demon dog.
Or with the eyes and everything.
Yeah. Wait, that's just the dog from Goosebumps. The intro. That is red eyes.
That dog. I was so mad they never told that story.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? Like, it's the coolest one, but they never did it.
Yeah, they ripped us off with that one.
R.L. Stein, you did me dirty.
Come on, R.L. Stein. Remember that time he talked to me on Facebook?
He did talk to you on Facebook.
There was
That's
one
so
time,
crazy.
guys, back in the day, before they came out with Fear Street, before they came out with the new
That
Goosebumps,
part.
I can go back to my receipts on Facebook. I asked this man, if you ever make a Goosebumps reboot, or if you make a Fear Street, I love Fear Street. If you make this, can I please be a part of production? So I went to school for film. This man said I have nothing to do with production. That's basically all he said to me. So, if you want to talk to R.L. Stein,
That's so crazy.
He's pretty direct to the point for a guy who's written a bunch of kids horror.
If you're a longtime viewer, I think we talked about that before on this podcast.
Yeah.
I think that was like episode I'm just gonna guess. It was like 15 or something.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. But that man said, "Oh, I don't know. I'm not in charge of production."
That's so funny.
So yeah, Mr. R.L. Stein literally didn't say anything about any of the production that was coming up in the next couple years. But I mean, I wouldn't have bet.
But clearly,
clearly it happened, and clearly the Fear Street wasn't as good as I wanted it to be. I'll say it, because the Fear Street books are amazing, and that series is good as its own individual thing. That Fear Street on Netflix.
You didn't like
Yeah.
You're saying it's not an adaptation.
No, I'm like, there are so many amazing Fear Street books that would be such good, like, little specials or movies. And no, they just decided not to include
It's just
them.
like completely new story.
And I'm like, great, but like, what about the amazing books you already have written, Mr. Stein? Like, but yeah, that's another time, but annoying. But yeah, what were we even talking about? Oh, the demon dog. The dog that wasn't on Goosebumps. Yeah. Yeah.
The demon dog. The dog with the demon.
The dog with the demons. So, that's one thing people see is those dogs skirting up against your car and then jumping in and mauling you. So
Beautiful.
Yeah, stunning. So our next little thing is some people see, this one's a little silly goofy, and the one after that's also a little silly goofy.
Oh my god, yeah.
People see haunted semi-trucks. I know. Haunted semi-trucks. And this is the one, it was actually a big part of the Supernatural episode.
Okay.
So if you know, you know. But if you don't know, watch the episode and you'll know. So haunted semi-trucks. Problems on this road are not just limited to drivers or their passengers. The vehicles themselves are also highly susceptible to the horrors that traveling this route can possess. Mechanical failures are a common phenomenon. Overheating, breakdowns, or even flat tires are all at the fault of the curse given to this lonely stretch of land. Such as things have been known to occur. But on this highway, it's the haunted semi-truck that deliberately attempts to collide with motorists to run them off the road. There are reports of numerous near misses, and it is believed that the spirit that controls the semi-truck is angry and despises anything that contains life. Stop cars! Oh my god!
It's literally cars.
Oh my.
It's literally cars.
Oh my
You can't make
god.
this. There's someone who works at Disney that like loves this lore and like was moved it.
Why
into
is this
Disney's
getting
Pixar.
so perfect? And then the next one's also about a vehicle, not to spoil it, but like
That's
I don't know.
crazy,
I didn't
actually.
even connect that until I heard like semi-truck is angry and despises anything that contains life.
crazy.
Because what if that's the lore of all the things in the Cars universe? They hate life because they are not life.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they don't contain life.
They want life to be a highway,
They-
but it can't be.
Because they don't have life.
That's crazy.
I'm getting emotional. Life is
I think I've heard of like alive semi trucks like that before, and maybe
Yeah.
I've seen them in like a movie or something,
There's-
like a ghost.
yeah, there's lots of
controlling
kind
a car.
of movies that have this kind of stuff.
Like you're driving down the road in a car with no passengers hitting you.
Yeah.
I think that's like we talk about the show a lot. I think that's been an episode on like a haunting or something.
Oh, I'm sure it has.
I feel like it has to.
I'm
have been,
positive.
for sure.
Yeah.
ID has already gotten like
ID's on
that
it.
episode on lockdown.
They have everything on lockdown. They're real. Ew, I'm literally going back and thinking through all the Life is a Highway lyrics, and I'm just connected. Like, life is a highway. Life is a highway. I want to drive it all night long.
Oh, and I love
Because-
to kill people.
To kill people, but also they want to keep driving on the highway because it is life.
It is life.
It is life.
That's crazy.
Crazy.
Lightning McQueen is taken by a semi truck on Route 66.
Yeah.
And
Tow Mater is literally just a haunted semi-truck.
No, the big semi truck that takes him to his next thing.
Oh,
He's in there.
You're
And
oh
we
yeah,
think-
that's a semi-truck, not a tow truck. LOL. Yeah,
and
yeah.
we think that he went willingly. But did he really?
Did he really? The lore continues.
That's so crazy.
That is crazy.
There's, oh my god, can I tell you real quick?
Yeah.
before we get into the
Yeah.
next one? Can you look up Pokemon Scarlet and Violet boss car? You
And
gotta see this. This
Violet,
is so funny.
boss car.
Yeah, look, I don't know its name, but it's like a Pokemon that's a car, and it's like kind of evil looking. Look at
Stop
that.
it. That's so funny. Ew, his little eyes.
I know it has little eyes and it's aggressive.
Oh my
When you were
gosh.
talking about it, this is kind of what I was seeing too. Like, and it kind of revs up when it's mad. It's like,
Oh my gosh. Wait, this is also Archie Comics. Isn't in the show?
Archie's Weird Mysteries. They do an episode
Yeah,
What
about the
hell?
haunted car. About the haunted. It just hit me, and it's like evil. What?
I'm freaking out because that's exactly what I've been thinking about in my head.
Ooh, let me pull up a picture.
I used to love Archie's Weird Mysteries.
I know. I've only watched
Oh
some
my
of it.
God.
Archie's Weird Mysteries.
I loved Archie's
That's
Weird
like one of the
Mysteries.
first episodes of that show.
Stuff. Yeah, isn't it Archie's car or something?
I think so.
They killed
No,
Jughead, don't
no,
they?
it is because then he doesn't like the car doesn't like when he's dating that one girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he like wants to kill her. But like, yeah, that's the evil car. Yeah,
Oh my
that's
God.
crazy.
That is so funny. This whole time I thought it was like a serious, like a haunting thing. I knew
Yeah.
where that from. You just like pulled that back out of me. That's where I know it from.
You're welcome.
That's
You're welcome.
crazy.
Yeah, I'm gonna be looking up where that took place because what if it was along this highway or like that show takes place in this like Four Corner area?
Archie's Weird Mysteries is crazy.
I'm about to be
That was a
looking that up.
crazy show to air on 4Kids TV,
Yeah.
like at like 9 in the morning on a Saturday.
That's something I need to pull up to watch in the fall, in the Saturday or
Yeah.
Sunday mornings. Like that's the vibe.
I'm about to pull that up when I get home.
Yeah,
With
you're
a-
welcome. But speaking of cars, our next little spiel is about, wait for this silly name, Satan's Sedan. That's this story's name.
Wait,
Wow,
Sedan's
they're
with an S?
Yeah, Sedan.
I thought Sedan was with a C.
Huh?
Like I thought,
Like the car sedan.
yeah, I thought it was with a C. An S makes more sense, I guess.
I can't even picture that. I don't know where you're living. Not in this.
SC, Sabrina Carpenter.
Oh my god, it's not making sense. It doesn't make sense at all.
Did you see that tweet? Sorry, this is so off topic. Did you see that tweet someone made where it was like Sabrina Carpenter? It was like the SC for her show. And someone was like, wow, she's so obsessed with Sean and Camilla.
Stop it. People play way too much. So obsessed with Sean and Camilla. Come on.
So funny.
People are wacky.
Crying.
Little wacky eggs. So yeah, Satan's Sedan after Sabrina Carpenter. One of the most widespread stories surrounding the unexplained phenomenon on the haunted highway is the story that covers experiences that involve an ominous black sedan that appears to charge individuals driving on the long stretch of road. Many individuals that have traveled this road have stated that as doing so, they began to experience an intense degree of fear as the sun sets on the lonely horizon within their view. Once darkness falls on the desolate road, the witnesses claim to see headlights coming up behind them.
That's crazy.
Despite the fact that they reach high speeds, the car seems to gain on them quickly. Many pull over in order to get out of the way of the dangerously close vehicle. Many witness the vehicle speeding fast past them. Others look up at the view of the vehicle and discover that there is no vehicle at all. Is this just a hallucination induced by the desert, or does Satan truly intimidate travelers in a mysterious black sedan?
That's crazy. That's so crazy. I need to know what a sedan looks like. I'm going to Google it real quick.
It's like...
I need to know.
Big car. That's like the best way I can describe it. It's like one of those hunky ones.
Oh, this one.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Can you imagine this thing chasing you down the road?
It like looks so normal, but I'd still be scared.
I feel like I've seen that before, like on a haunting maybe actually. Like I feel like like a very normal looking car is just like the one who's doing it.
Sometimes the normal ones are scary.
Can you imagine you're on like a romantic honeymoon trip and the sun's setting and you're like, wow, it's so beautiful. And then an evil sedan comes and it's like
revving its engine.
What's that called? Bumping up against you?
Tailgating.
Tailgating. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're trying to get you. I don't know what they're going to do when they kill you, but good luck. So yeah, those are the Tales of Our Cars universe. So,
that's so funny.
Yeah, you're welcome.
That's so funny.
Yeah, so those ones are funky. But
do you think it's here's the thing. Do you think it's a sentient car that's doing it, or do you think it's a ghost driving the car that you can't see? That's the question here.
I feel like it's probably a ghost, but I want to believe it's a sentient car. Even though
sentient car's funnier.
Ghost is more believable. This is so funny.
That's so funny.
Ghost is more believable to be driving the car. Duh. But like sentient car is more fun.
Exactly.
This is a crazy conversation.
I agree with you. I think sentient car is way funnier.
But like not believable.
Yeah.
Over a ghost driving a car.
But a ghost driving it makes much more sense. But also
it's crazy to happen more than once. Like
that's so funny. It's
and
so
in a different
crazy.
vehicle. Like it happened in a truck and a car. That's kind of crazy. But yeah, those are our car tales. And don't worry, because there's more happening on this stretch.
Let's go.
You thought it was just the cars. Some people are seeing a girl in a white dress. Because, of course, in all tales of spooky little scary stories, there's always some girl in white dress. Always. Mm-hmm. So there are many hostile spirits that are said to reside on the haunted highway. There is one spirit that does not seem to be so hostile, though. Oh. This spirit is believed to be that of a young girl that is typically seen standing on the side of the road in a gown that is white in color. While there are no reported cases where the ghost seemed dangerous, individuals claim that she seemed unusual. She is said to have had a sad, unnerving expression that prompts the concern of any individual that spots her spirit in the desolate desert. When people approach her, it is said that she literally disappears.
Ooh.
So classic.
Yeah, so just like a cool like story, just like a weird like.
She's like what you think of when you think of a ghost.
Yeah, she's just like
a sad little girl.
She sounds like a great ghost, to be honest.
Yeah.
She sounds like exactly like when you're hungry for dessert.
Yeah.
You don't want something too heavy, so then you get like a vanilla ice cream or like
you want just like the. That's a ghost.
That's it.
That's
the
cake. Ghost I was looking for. Yeah.
Right on the like just good enough for the.
Yes, the perfect ghost.
Just.
Stunning.
That's cool.
Yes. So there's also other people who said it wasn't a little girl. Some people think they've seen like an adult woman in white, and she's been more ominous. Like there's a lot of different as all these folklore and like different stories have been told.
Iterations.
There's like different renditions. So there's some people who believe it's like an older woman in white. Some people have seen a kid.
Yeah. Well, I can only assume that people probably start to like associate with like La Llorona or something like that.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing.
Older woman. Beautiful dress.
Yeah.
Just lurking around the highway.
And also, I think it's good to keep in mind with all of these stories that this stretch is a very, very long stretch. So people drive this road for so long. So it's not crazy to think that some of these people have been hallucinating. That's all I'm going to say. Not that people are making all this stuff up, but it is fair to say some
Honestly,
people
that's not a bad theory.
Yeah.
It's not like sleep fatigue and everything.
People falling asleep at the wheel, people hallucinating.
Yeah,
like there's
and especially truck drivers, like who have to stay up like a lot.
Yeah.
And only get like a certain amount of hours, I think, to sleep each day. Crazy.
Like it's not a crazy idea. But another big one we have. This one, there's disappearances and time loss. And I love stuff with time loss. Time loss stuff is amazing to me.
That's so cool.
I know. So many individuals that have started down this ominous path have seemingly disappeared without a trace. In some cases, a vehicle or another part of the person's property have been located. But in other cases, there is no trace of any evidence that indicates that the individual has even been on the road at all. That's kind of scary.
That's crazy.
They just disappeared without a trace.
It's like a Bermuda Triangle.
No, it literally is.
Like the road.
Ooh.
The road of the Bermuda Triangle. Ooh.
So many that have disappeared for extremely long periods of time have reappeared with no explanation several hours or several days later.
What?
That's wild. This is also reminding me, I was thinking of this whenever I was writing this case, but there was a case we did a long time ago that had that person that they were like in a road somewhere, okay. And there was like a flashback with like some Beatles stuff, and we like played clips.
Yes.
What case was that?
That was it was literally like parallel dimensions.
Oh, yes, it was.
It was parallel dimensions where he just like kind of like went to another world and came back with the Beatles album.
I'm pretty sure that guy was driving on a long stretch of road and like apparently just like appeared in a different dimension, and like he claimed that like stuff about the Beatles that I don't even remember what specifically about the Beatles it was.
Go back and watch it because it's actually a really good episode.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
I really like that episode.
But there was a whole thing about that guy, and it reminded me of this, but I could not place what case that was, so thank you. But I'm pretty sure it's in that case.
Yeah, because we haven't done like I think a straight up time travel one because it comes up in almost all our cases. But the parallel dimension ones, we did talk about time travel also.
Yeah. Well, because that guy also said he didn't experience like there was time loss. Like he came back.
Yeah, he felt like everything was exactly the same.
Yeah, it was very odd.
That's crazy.
So yeah, just a side note, because I was like, I cannot think of what that case was, but it's the same idea. So some people think they haven't been on the road at all. Many have disappeared without a trace and then reappeared several hours or several days later. These individuals typically have no concept of time and have not felt as if they have been away for very long. In many instances, they have no recollection of the events that have previously transpired. So some people just don't remember, and then there's guys like that who do remember. So you never know how silly people are going to be. But there are many that have traveled down the ominous highway and have discovered that they took longer than expected based on the accounts of others and are unable to explain the loss of time. Oh. So, like, they'll be going and going and going, and, like, say, like, your maps is like, it'll take 3 hours, and suddenly they've been gone for 12 hours and they don't even realize that, like, it's been that long. Like, that's like a crazy jump, but, like, that's the kind of the idea.
Yeah. I mean, even a little bit of loss of time is, like, crazy, though.
Yeah.
Like, even just, like, losing a minute feels crazy.
It's scary. Yeah. But this unexplained phenomenon has happened several times throughout history. So people are experiencing it out there.
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Mm-hmm. It feels just like, I wonder if it's, like, just, like, a... this is just like super cinematic what I'm thinking of, but like just like imagine you're just like driving and maybe like you entered a portal without even like realizing it, and it's like time jumps you, like so you just feel kind of like discombobulated.
Stuff like that's so cool, and I feel like there's probably already like movies on it. I've seen different media that like they jump to parallel dimensions, but like I love the imagery of like there's some like tired trucker driving down Route 66 and he's going and going and going for hours. And then suddenly he's driven into some small town, but this small town is actually, he's just entered a wormhole of time, and now he's back in the past or in a different dimension. Like, and then he's out of it. Like, that's so cool.
And I love when it's like only like a few like seconds in real time, or it's like a long amount of time.
Yeah.
And it's just like, what?
Stuff like that's so cool.
It's so cool to me.
But yeah, so maybe, well, I don't know if we can still experience it because it's not named that still, but like we should still try.
What?
Go on a road trip and go and see if we can do some time travel and parallel
That'd be
dimension
fun.
jumping.
We need to do like a big time travel episode. That'd be
We
fun
do.
too.
I feel like we have a little bit.
Yeah, but I think in parallel dimensions we did a little bit too.
Yeah.
Like, we talk about it. We should just like find a bunch of fun time travel stories.
We
and tell them.
should. That'd be
Even
fun.
if they're just like Reddit stories.
I could have sworn we did a case, but I don't remember. I don't think
there's an episode straight up called time travel.
Okay.
Probably something close.
But like I would love to hear
looking
some
through
more
the
Reddit
episodes
stories
right now and is like,
yeah.
Logan, it's episode.
It's episode
13.
83.
Like, God forbid.
We didn't even have 83 episodes. This is 82, I think.
Is it? I thought this was like 84. Hold on.
No, my guess is 82. That's my guess.
I'm gonna guess. I think this is 86.
Okay, I think you're wrong, but that's okay. It's 82.
It's 82.
Yeah, that's what I
was
thought.
hopeful.
You're so hopeful. But yeah, so some people, you're experiencing time loss as we speak. It doesn't even happen. That's crazy. You said 82. Isn't that weird?
What, we didn't already film the spider episode?
We didn't film. We take down, if we do have a like time travel one, we take the episode down and all the people that saw it are like, no, I saw it, I swear. Like, no, you didn't.
I privated it after.
Yeah, you're sick. You wouldn't do that. And you're like, no. So yeah, those are like the main stories. And then there's a few like other like random like one-off things that people have talked about. So a lot of like other things that people have experienced are like they've experienced ghost lights, like they've seen like white orbs flash by and like different stuff like that that have like blinded them in their car for a second.
Ooh.
So we've got like ghost light experiences.
Even though there's no other lights on like the road.
Yeah, like if they're driving alone, they'll see like a random light flash, which I've talked about so many times. My experience with seeing ghost lights before when I was in the woods. So like
we talked about that on the Appalachians episode too, I think.
Yeah, like I've seen the lights in the woods and they're not cute. So that's another big one.
It's also like with the like light thing idea, like I think it could definitely be like ghost like, but it's so like understanding like darkness is so weird because like if you look into pitch black darkness for long enough,
you'll see
it starts to look light. There starts to be like white specks and things.
If you look long enough in the dark, you will see something and it it's not cute.
Not fun.
So some people are seeing these ghost lights. Some other stuff that people have talked about is just like the random amount of like haunted locations that are along this stretch. Like there's so many like haunted hotels. There's I think the story of like the haunted like Goatman's Bridge that was on like BuzzFeed Unsolved or something is in this like stretch of area.
Oh, that's crazy.
There's haunted like restaurants and taverns and things like that. And then another big one that it is crazy how many times this has come up while reading about it, but I have not found any specific accounts of this. The amount of people that have talked about their experience with a UFO or like aliens within this area is kind of crazy. And I know part of
it's down
it's
south and west too,
there's like
right?
Arizona. So like Arizona makes a lot of
New
sense.
Mexico.
Yeah. So I just wish I could have found more experiences directly on
instead of just like
instead of I saw a UFO because there was nothing that had enough like meat to it for me to be like, okay, that's a real story. Like I even checked Reddit and I couldn't find any UFO stories about Highway 666. So there's also accounts of that, but like not with any real heart behind it.
Maybe adding to the whole like time jumping thing. What if it's like aliens experiencing like time travel or something, or like jumping through things?
That's fun. Jump through the wormholes.
You're jumping through little wormholes everywhere.
I love that. Well, if anyone out there has any alien or UFO stories about either Route 66 or like if you have any alien stories in general, just tell me because I love them. That's all.
One thing we're gonna do is have a theory about aliens.
Yeah, you will always have a theory about aliens. They're just the answer. There's also a few like other silly little myths. Like someone has said if you stop your car at 1:15 a.m. and turn off the lights in your car, you'll hear knocking and strange fog will surround your car.
I think I've heard of that before.
Yeah, so that's another big like little myth we have along.
Ooh, that's like Bloody Mary kind of.
I know. That's weird that you say that.
Do you want to drive at 1:15? Wait, why? Why is it interesting that I say that?
No, it's just because I think I already told you this a couple days ago.
Oh yeah.
But the case that this was going to be Bloody Mary, but I couldn't find enough stuff, so it's probably gonna be a mini episode. But I was just like, Bloody Mary. This was supposed to be her episode. She's gonna be mad at me now. But
she's the girl in the white dress coming for you.
She's coming. But yeah, so stop your car at 1:15 in the middle of this nowhere place and just see what happens.
Ooh.
But I hate the knocking. So yeah, that's kind of all the different myths and things I've collected for this case. But is there anything that specifically sticks out to you? Like what you thought was the most fun or interesting? What you think's the scariest part? Like what were your thoughts on this as a whole?
I think I still, I think towards the end there, I really, really liked the time jumping stuff. That was really fun. And then I think honestly, the creation of Route 666
Yeah.
is like just crazy. Like I just didn't know that it was actually coined as that.
Yeah.
Like it just feels like such a oversight, and it's just like that's just creepy within itself that they actually called it that. That's just like I learned so much new information from that because I didn't know that that was like an evil road before or something. I think I really liked that stuff. I liked the Wendigo story. I actually liked the first one a lot, the campground one.
Yeah.
With the whole like the bear like sitting up, like that feels like very like in the Wendigo world.
Or Skinwalker. Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
You're fine. You're fine.
Skinwalker.
Yeah.
Oh my god. The Skinwalkers and how they do that. I thought that was really cool too.
I don't know what my favorite part was. I feel like it probably was the Skinwalkers because I think I've been waiting for a case for us to talk about them, and we always go, we'll talk about them one day.
We'll do it one day, and then we never do.
Yeah, and I also didn't realize, like, I don't know, like, the context behind Skinwalkers or, like, what they mean to, like, different groups of people. Like, I didn't realize that, like, they could be medicine men, and they could appear in the back of your car if you don't heed their warning. Like,
it's so crazy.
I love, like, the history and significance behind all of that. So I'm very interested in that. And then I also really liked the idea of the time travel and, like, time loss idea.
That was just cool. That's just so cool.
Like, that's so fun. Like, I don't think there's a ton of, like, meat behind that, but, like, the concept of, like, people just, like, lost time
sometimes
while driving.
If there's not a lot of meat, your brain will just start, like...
Yeah, my brain, it creates the narrative that I love. The same thing with our
anxiety.
Cars. It's the anxiety being all little in there. So, like, even the Cars stuff was so fun because now I have all this, like, these preconceived ideas about, like, cars are actually skinwalkers and, like, silly, fun things that, like, my brain just, like, eats up. So,
I'm going to put a poll on this episode, and it's going to say... If you think the sentient cars are like if it's a ghost driving or if it's a sentient car, I'm gonna do a poll on that. I want to know your guys' thoughts. I want to know.
Tell us what you think. But yeah, I think this was really fun. I liked how many little just different types of things that were happening because like you hear stuff like this and you're like, it's just ghosts. But, like, this had so much more than that.
I love when we have, like, a large concept and there's, like, a lot of little mini like mysteries that happen.
That's my favorite kind of episode to do.
Perfect mystery donut.
Little mystery donut. Yes. So, you ready for the outro?
I absolutely am.
Okay. So today, Route 666, or the Devil's Highway, has been featured in everything from music, novels, comics, film, and television.
Cars specifically.
Specifically cars.
But only the first one, kind of, and the third one sometimes.
What's the second one even about?
Super Spies. Tow Mater.
I don't remember that at all. Rewatch. Skinwalkers. So you see it everywhere. It may be fiction for some, but some motorists claim it's real experiences of demon dogs, ghostly figures, and skinwalkers. People have claimed that something paranormal has been at work for years. But I guess, for now, the truths of what really happened on the Devil's Highway will forever remain a mystery. Yeah. That was it.
That's it.
That was so fun.
Thank you guys for watching.
Yes, thank you guys.
Please like, comment, subscribe, follow, rate us. Do all the things, please.
All the things. Go to our Instagram at the Mystery Files _.
We're a very tiny podcast. Follow us on the TikTok at the Mystery Files Podcast.
Every little amount of love we love. Because when we see your little comments, it's like, oh, people saw it. That's so cute. Because I feel like I see the numbers of, like, people who listened, and I'm like, nah, people haven't actually listened. But, like, when you actually, like,
really
respond in, like, a comment or something, I'm like, those are real people. Like, oh, my God, thank you so much. So,
please, give us all the love. We need it. We're a small podcast.
Yes, we appreciate you all.
Yes, and we'll see you next time for my case.
For Logan's case.
Back again.
Yes, it's going to be wonderful. So, have a good night, guys. Don't get too scared out there. Goodbye.